It is Friday night. Only 3 of us here. Me and Manly and Jonah. So we're just having some chicken. I made Manly 2 of these chicken tenders and me and Jonah some of these spicy chicken patties. I got these from Ingles. They were on sale, buy one, get one free. So this is the chicken tenders bag, but the other one is the same brand. It's just the spicy chicken patties. Jonah wants to put salsa on his chicken, so he's gonna have some of those Hatch chili. They're on the bottom shelf down there. Those Better Goods Hatch chili tortilla chips. These. He's gonna have some of those with his chicken. While the chicken's cooling down, I'm gonna put half a cup of water and 3 packs of this unflavored gelatin in the KitchenAid because we're gonna make homemade marshmallows for hot chocolate in the morning. They won't be ready until in the morning. They have to set up all night long, so we're gonna go ahead and make them tonight. First, we just put these packs of this with some cold water in there and just let it sit for 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna let it sit for as long as I'm eating. It'll be longer than 10 minutes, but it'll be fine. I'm just gonna whisk this by hand into the KitchenAid bowl for now instead of turning it on and all. Because all we have to do is whisk the 3 packs of gelatin with half a cup of cold water. Sissy's gone to a sleepover tonight. That's why she's not here with us. All right, so we've got the 3 packs of gelatin in there, half a cup of cold water. I'm just gonna whisk this by hand and sit it back over there until after I eat. This will just start thickening up for us. I think I'm just gonna have a salad with my spicy chicken patty. I made one extra in case Jonah wanted more. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start the marshmallows now. That chicken, it was okay. I don't think I would buy it again. It definitely wasn't my favorite, so I don't think we'll buy it again. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't great. Okay, so we have a 1.5 cups of sugar in there. We're putting half a cup of water. This is the Pioneer Woman's recipe for marshmallows, so I'll link it down below for y'all. And let's see, we've got this on medium right now. We're gonna put in half a teaspoon of salt and 1 cup of light corn syrup. Oh dear, oh, I thought that was gonna fall in there. When this starts to really simmer, almost come into a boil, if I remember right, we let it do that for 3 minutes while we stir it, and then we're gonna turn it down to low and let it keep cooking for about 10 minutes. I've got tea making over here. All right, we're cooking here. We're gonna let this go for about 3 minutes while we stir it, and then we'll turn it down to low for 10 minutes. All right, y'all, it has just about been 10 minutes. We're gonna drop in 2 teaspoons of vanilla, mix that in, and then we're gonna add this over to the gelatin mixture that we made earlier. I didn't stir this continually. I kind of walked away from it a little bit and it was fine, but you definitely, you know, wanna stir it a little bit from time to time. So we pour this right in with the gelatin while it's still hot. We're gonna start whisking this on low for 3 minutes, and then we're gonna turn it up higher for 12 minutes. So I put some parchment paper in this. This is close to a 9x9 baking dish. I put parchment paper in there, sprayed it with some cooking spray. I've just got some powdered sugar in this bowl. We're gonna sprinkle some of it all over the parchment paper. I'm just gonna use this to tap it all over. It said to make sure you put a good layer of the powdered sugar on there. I'm making sure I'm getting up here where it's gonna be on the edges of the marshmallow. So it's gonna make one big huge one, you know, and then when it sets up tomorrow, we'll slice it. It's supposed to make be able to make 25 marshmallows. Okay. Well, it's the next morning. We're about to slice the marshmallows. We're going to take it out of this baking dish. It's really nice and firm now. Let me grab a knife, and I have our powdered sugar right here because we'll have to dip the knife in the powdered sugar as we slice so it doesn't get all sticky. It'll want to stick to it. Now I put the powdered sugar on the bottom so you can see our bottom isn't sticky and the top and sides are not sticky. It's just going to be when we slice into it. And I'm trying to decide what size I want to make these. Let me put a little powdered sugar right here so I can dip my knife in it. Look at that. That's wonderful marshmallow goodness right there. The ones on the edge are going to be a little funny shape. We'll cut off that corner and taste test it because we should definitely taste test it. Look at that. That's wonderful. So we got a homemade marshmallow from one of the candy stores downtown. That's why I wanted to try making our own. And it's really easy, and homemade ones are definitely better than the ones from the store. I'm gonna make them about that size. You can cut them though, however small you want to, but I think that'll be good. My coffee's still really hot. I'll drop one in my coffee so we can see how it does in there. Let's see how this one's melting. It's doing good. You can do them really little so they'll melt down faster, but I kind of like the bigger squares. They taste so much better than marshmallows that you get from the store. And if I remember right, they last for about 2 weeks. Kind of shaking off any extra powdered sugar as I drop them in. And make sure I didn't miss any parts that are still sticky. All you gotta do to get rid of that stickiness is just dip them a little bit in the powdered sugar and then dust it off. There we go. I didn't even count them, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Guess how many marshmallows are in the jar? It's at least 20. Anywhere from 20 to 30. I gotta dump the rest of this powdered sugar back in my powdered sugar jar. And we will start breakfast. I'm making a sheepherder's breakfast. I'm not gonna do a big one, so I just have my smaller skillet here because there's just gonna be a few of us here. I'm just cutting some bacon up into small pieces back here, and we're gonna drop it right in the skillet. Let me go ahead and turn it on to medium. So I've got some crumbled bacon in there, and I'm gonna do a few half strips. I wanna have a piece or two of bacon while I'm making the rest of this, so that's why I'm doing some of those. I'll throw another one on there too. I'm gonna chop up a little bit of onion and turn that down a little bit. Oh, and I need to thaw out some hash browns. I'm probably only gonna need about 2 to 2.5 cups of these, so I'm gonna just stick them in the microwave on defrost for a few seconds because they need to be thawed, and I forgot to put them in the refrigerator last night. Okay, we'll just use this little piece of onion, and I think I'll be making something tonight I can use this other half for, so I'll just wrap it up. Okay, we're gonna throw this in right in there with the bacon. The only pieces of bacon we're gonna take out are the strips that I'm making. The rest of it just stays in the skillet. I'm trying to judge by the size of this skillet how many hash browns I'll need. Thinking just 2 cups. Okay, we're just going to defrost this in the microwave. Okay, I think that's good now. We'll take out these strips. Now we're going to add the hash browns to the bacon and onions. And I have it a little under medium right now. Now we'll mix the bacon and onions with the hash browns. And we're going to let it cook for about 8 minutes. Then we'll flip them or stir them again. I'll probably just stir them again. And while we're letting that cook, I'm gonna wash these dishes real quick. Then I'll get the hot chocolate started for Jonah. Manly's still asleep, but Jonah's already up asking for the hot chocolate. He's helping Tyler right now, so I'll wash these dishes, then we'll get his hot chocolate ready. So I made 3 little spots that we're gonna put the eggs. I'm just doing 3 since it's not many of us here. We're just gonna put an egg into each spot. We're gonna sprinkle salt and pepper over the top, and you can bust these if you want to, but they're gonna cook. We're gonna cover it, so they're gonna cook through. Or you can leave them runny if you wanna leave them runny. It just depends on how you like your eggs. So now we'll cover them. They're gonna cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit more. And I have some shredded cheese that we're gonna sprinkle over the top. We'll wait about 5 or 6 minutes and then we'll put the cheese on top and cover it again to let the cheese melt. That's outstanding, y'all. It tastes like it came right out of Grandma's kitchen, ready for you to go and herd some sheep or something. Since it's called a sheepherder's breakfast. Okay, anyway. It's great, especially when you get to the crunchy parts of the hash browns. Oh, that's wonderful. And see, I cooked it so our eggs they're pretty much done. They're just a little soft in the middle. It's great. I love hash browns. I'm gonna put a little bit more salt on mine. That is good. You like it? Yeah. Jonah's liking it.
There's a lot of good flavor right there.
Yeah.
It don't get no better. That's great.
That's going to be at the B&B in the future.
Yeah.
That'll be the breakfast that we serve on
When
Saturday.
them collard greens kick in, them black eyed peas, and money comes, we're going to be serving these right here at the breakfast place. And we will not overcharge. You won't come to our place and be like, what, the prices? No. It'll almost be like you didn't have to pay. It'll be like, I can't believe that. I'm gonna actually give them a bigger tip because they didn't hardly charge enough, George. Martha, give them a $15 tip.